Hey guys, and welcome back to another stream. Oh goodness. You have a long day and following a really short day and you completely forget what you usually say. For those who might be new here, my name is Onya. I'm a streamer. I usually stream video games, but I also do National NaNoWriMo Month. I have done it for the last several years. Let's see what the website actually says. As far as my projects are concerned, I participated in it 12 years, at least. Don't know if that's participation or, oh no, that's projects. It doesn't do, the website doesn't tell me years attempted, but years one and done. I've done it for, I've had 12 projects, which can include not national stuff. I've had 10 years where I've participated and won, so that's at least 12 or more where I didn't win. Looking at those, 1, 2, 13 years, or it looks like I've done it for about 13-ish years. And I feel like that's just the earliest it's been. That too, but oh well. Oh well. Let's just go ahead and oh guys, I am so sorry. My brain just keeps flipping out. Yeah, so I've been doing it for several years. A few years ago, I decided to go ahead and live stream my writing, which, you know, I have no problem doing. And then because I also have done things to support my favorite charity, BabyDJ.org, I decided to, a few years ago when I started streaming my writing, decided to link that to BabyDJ.org. There were other things that I did previous to that, was just basically to shout out the company and all that. But since I am a Twitch affiliate, whatever the middle tier is, I do get money from streaming, so I decided to go ahead and any revenue that I get for the month of November, so ads, bits, subs, etc., go into a giant pool and go to BabyDJ.org. Sometimes every year it's a little bit different. Some years I just do whatever I'm given plus whatever I was planning on doing myself. Last year I think I did the revenue plus $10 or plus something rounded up, then plus whatever I was giving. This year I'm doing the revenue, matching it up to $50, and so 50/50 is 100, and then adding 20 of my own. So that's what this year's revenue match is looking like. So seeing the revenue from the title, it's 21.16, so 42.32 plus 50, so 92.32. But I would donate. What else? I don't think of it much else. I do the donation in the first week or so of December, and I post the images of the receipt to Discord, Twitch, just so that those who support me know exactly where it's coming from / where it's going. And yeah. So you will see ads every 15-ish minutes or so. And in addition to that, you'll see little blurbs from my little chat bot talking about the program. And with that, I don't know if I've got anything else to really blabber on about. So let's go ahead and actually get to the writing. The characters are finally going to their date night. So let's see what happens. Alright, hey, I'm always prepared. Always prepared. I feel like most. This side. But right, no, I obviously did not. Shook his head again. Oh, your destination. Oh, shoot. Totally forgot how GPS things, word phrase things. But alright, let's go. Nation coming up. Right. Proper sounding voice came from Spencer's phone. Back to it. And began to focus more on the road ahead. There was no way to miss the large sign with a dark blue Feldman Farms painted onto it, lit up by a spotlight to ensure no one would miss it in the fading light or dark hours. He turned. Nope. The car turned into the driveway. Followed the sign. And continued for several feet until they were in a large area already half filled with cars and people milling about. Popular place. He examined, observed. Looked Alyssa nodding her agreement. The couple they parked and got out of the car. It was go out of the car. Slacks and a polo. Nothing too messed up. But still wanting to look nice on their date tonight. Melissa was similar, wearing a nice pair of jeans and a red and a white sleeved polo. If it has sleeves, is it technically a polo shirt? That's what Google is for. Okay. I'm too dressed up, but still wanting to look nice on the date night. Alyssa was similar, wearing a nice type pair of jeans and a red blouse whose arms were ruffled. Her hair was pulled back into a tight ponytail. And nope, I don't. So, for those who haven't been with me when I was writing, I've been trying to purposefully keep the various elements of the main characters as ambiguous as possible. You know, Spencer's a guy, Alyssa's a woman. I think I've hinted that Spencer's taller than Alyssa, but as far as their various characteristics, I've been trying to keep that ambiguous so as to allow the reader to be able to identify with them more, if that makes sense. Kind of like how Link in the Zelda games doesn't talk, so that, you know, it's a way for the player to identify. Similar theory. Whether or not it's going to work is a different matter, but that's what I've been doing with these characters. So if I say that the main character, Alyssa, has long hair, that kind of defeats the purpose, because if the person who's reading it has short hair. So yeah, that was just a quick consideration for that. Let's see now. Where's another card? She had decided to wear a touch of makeup, a bit of lipstick, mascara, nothing too heavy. After a few moments of looking around to taking some time to gather their bearings, observed that the farm had multiple buildings surrounding just parking area. Alyssa observed maybe that's why Alyssa figured maybe that's why there were so many people. Opal, well, that's a typo. People here. There might have been some the property might have multiple attractions that bring people from all over. It made her wonder why the Morning Glory Manor wasn't quite as popular. That's popular. It wasn't an attraction, but it wasn't too far from the farms, and certainly wouldn't too far from the farms, and certainly would be a decent choice for a hotel for lodging in an area that obviously felt deprived of such amenities. I don't like the way this kind of words out, but that's what editing is for. Hashtag quote of the nano. That's what editing is for. Alright. Scroll up a bit. Which one should we go to? We whisper to her. Sensor. Different ear. Other people in the parking lot seem to be either coming, going into one of two buildings. Where they were standing, Alyssa couldn't make out any signage. Let's get closer, she suggested. The building, it looks like the buildings aren't too far apart from each other. And if you can't tell by the time we get to the doors, the worst that could happen. Tell us we're in the wrong spot. Sounds like a plan to me. Slap! He agreed with her and offered her his arm, which she accepted. Approaching the buildings, they were definitely their age, buildings, the age of the farm. Began to feel obvious. The buildings are much shorter than Alyssa had expected. The walls looked like they were made out of clay that was packed together, or some other similar material, not modern brick or cement. The doors were also much smaller than usual. Something Alyssa was familiar with when it came to older buildings. Pulling up a little bit.
Hello.
Hey Autumn, how's it going? It might have also been a design choice, but I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. It's been a bit of a busy weekend, but you know, it's It's getting done. Alright, you redeemed blind writing. 450 Twitch points. Okay, well, Twitch channel points. Give me a second to finish the spot, and then I'll get that set up. I have also been a place, but decor around old and rusted. Did not do anything to sell the illusion of age. I had a feeling that is true. Alright, so let me go ahead. Been having minor typos all so far tonight, so we might see something fun. Who knows? Alright, so taking off my glasses. I gotta charge my gear a bit later. Alright, timer. Alright, so 5 minutes and a few seconds. Alright, and unfortunately, there was no signage to help indicate which building to go into. Alyssa looked around for someone whom she could ask, but no one was there. Instead, she watched the people going into the various GARIOUS space, couple of buildings. They were both seeing visitors with similar dress codes, nice but casual clothing. She couldn't tell was there for a tour or some other reason. There's no signage. Let me actually have to see that. It's weird that there's no signage, she said with a small frown. She looked up at her husband. Was there nothing in the website about where we should go for the tour? Tour? He asked her with the boy here. It didn't last long in front of the sour. She immediately I'm sure you figured that out already. I don't recall any information about the building where head rubbing the back of his neck. Looks aside, shaking her head. The side, it didn't look like there was much difference in them. One was 2-story, while the other was a single story. Both were rather decently sized for multiple these within. Although the doorways for each building were open, so you get a good view into them, even from close, in order to determine which building was for which purpose. Looks like we're heading inside. There you go. Spencer offered with a wave of his free hand. She looked back and forth between the two buildings and chose the left one. This was the single story building. Alright, it's been 5 minutes. Alright, let's see. What do I got? Alright, nothing terrible. We're going on a U. One was 2-story. Gonna get a food view. Here's what I'm thinking about right now. Nom nom. Lead the way. Alright, scroll up a bit. This was the single story. Alyssa and Spencer slipped behind another couple. They were entering. No, that Spencer filtered into the building several steps behind another couple. Stepping into the building was gave Alyssa goosebumps. There was an electricity to the air, but she could tell the building was lit from strings of lights that had an outside electrical component. Immediately upon entering, they were in a hallway that took them put them to the left, or that guided them. Left away from the door. A few feet after that, the hall turned and they were in a large room. It looked like a we're in a large room. We're in a large room with the other visitors. There were display cases set up vertically with various elements and tools inside the cases. Plaques beneath them. The building space required that the displays were relatively close together, with enough space, with enough room for 2 or 3 people to serve each display. Although there are certainly guests who were taking advantage of observing the museum in here, it was obvious that other guests were only passing through the room on the far side of the building. Only a quick glance in that direction. A quick glance in that direction, along with detecting the odor, the scent that wafted from the outside of the building. And Melissa had a good feeling that there was a dining hall associated with the farm. It smelled like stew was on the menu. Excuse me. She heard Spencer call out to someone and watched wave at the woman who was dressed a long I'm just going to say blue. Can't think of the color off the top of my head. A long blue pencil skirt and had a white blouse that came all the way up her. A white long sleeved. There was a side of the face. What's it called? There was a portrait. I'm gonna say portrait brooch. Portrait brooch fixed to the neck of the blouse. On. Woman turned to face Spencer, her hands folded in front of her. Could you tell me where the visitors we should go for the ghost tour? I don't know how I'm an actor, but yeah. Costumed woman gave a brief smile. Nodded, of course. You are in the wrong for that. Go ahead and eat the way you came. And it will be in the 2-story building to the left. The right building. If you're approaching the Thank you kindly, Spencer. Thanks, the woman, adding a cowboy twang. Words before returning back to Alyssa. Looks like looks like it. She agreed. Let's check this out. Still open. Feed. Before sweeping her eyes over all of the displays. This is still open at the end of the tour. I'd like to check it out. If it's not, then we'll swing by. Come back again tomorrow. Alyssa could feel her cheeks raise with the giant. She received. Wow. That overcame her face. Sounds like a plan. Repeating what he said not too long ago. Alright, scrolling up. Oh wow, it's almost 6:30 already. Out real quick. Time flies when you're having fun. Alright. Alright, I'll keep writing for a little bit longer. Okay. Stated repeating what he had said not too long ago. Leaving the way they came. Stepping aside for others who were coming into the building. Quickly crossed the grass dividing buildings and entered the two-story building that Alyssa did not opt to go into. This building's entrance was much similar to the museum restaurants entrance, except instead of funneling visitors to the left, it funneled them to the right. In addition, Alyssa noted that there were no string lights illuminating the hallway. Instead, there were actual gas lanterns. Not lanterns, lights. Once they left this hallway, there was a group of people milling around a seating area that was similar to the one in the Manor, but designed more for a large group in mind as opposed to several smaller groups. Additionally, the Manor's sitting area consisted of a hodgepodge of different styles of furniture. Here, the furniture was all from the same era. From the same time period. And reflected the rustic, but still, yeah, I need to, this is Victorian nature of the farm. This would require extra research on my part, but setting the building. Ooh, sorry, setting the bones here. Setting the bones. All right. The walls all had white wallpaper decorated with a blue tiny flower pattern. and there was a singular straight staircase that led to the second story. A couple of people looked up, they approached, but overall, everyone in the room was mostly paying attention to themselves or their company. Alright. After 6:30, the ad has recently been run. Because the ad's recently been run, there's no way for you to get the 3-minute ad up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do then is I am going to switch to the offline screen, and let the, and just end the stream. Excuse me, shortly afterwards. Alright guys, I do need to get cooking, so I do want to thank you all for joining me tonight, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll probably be setting up some Christmas tomorrow, so I might not, it'll probably be an afternoon stream. But as always, follow me on Discord or Twitch or Instagram to know when I will be going live. And I hope you have yourselves a great rest of your day. Thanks for joining. Bye. Oh, you can also follow on YouTube.